Easy Sports Talk Show. I am one of your co-hosts. I'm Javon J. Love Adams, and with me is a man who played professional baseball. Also played for the Atlanta Falcons on that first Super Bowl bound team for the Atlanta Falcons of the National Football League. He is an author. He is a motivational speaker. He is a dude that over the years I have come to call my brother. He is none other than Ed Easy Smith. What is good, sir?
What up, though, Jay? My brother from another mother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got a good show lined up for you. This week, Wednesday, I'm gonna be up in Sedona. We're doing a big family caravan to Sedona, since the whole west side of Phoenix is coming to my dang Thanksgiving this year. But and then then so Friday we'll figure out if we're gonna bring you a Friday episode or not, because we might be having that itis might still be hitting us from Thanksgiving. But we'll let you know if you see it in your inbox, and if you see the little things that we do to let you know that there's a new episode out there. You can always go to easysportstalk.com, easysportstalk.com, sign up for the newsletter. That'll get you notified whenever a new episode drops. You can subscribe, whether you're on whether you go to YouTube or whether you're on Spotify, iTunes, so forth, so on, however you get it. Make sure you subscribe so you're aware of that. Typically we do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This is a holiday week, and so we got that going on. So got a great show lined up for you, as we have started to do. Want to get the best and worst from this football weekend. Your thoughts on that? Since Thanksgiving is coming, I got an interesting question, because I came across this particular tool, this particular piece of equipment, so to speak, that Ed has in his backyard, and I didn't realize he had that much of a love for food when I looked at this particular item's cost. So and then I want to start off with this. So I said this to you. When you're a coach that's on the hot seat, or when you're starting to feel the pressure because there are a lot of expectations, there's so much expectation. I'm talking about the Chargers in this regard. And so sometimes coaches start to get a little snippy. They start to bite back. Sometimes they accuse the players of not executing, or sometimes they get snippy with the media. You saw this, you should know, and don't ask me this. And they start to become, maybe they step out of their character, as they say, don't step outside your face, right? Your thoughts on that? And I'm Brad. So Brandon Staley, the coach for the Chargers, they lost yesterday to the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay.
So both the Green Bay Packers and the Chargers are 4-6. A lot of expectations, especially with that quarterback Herbert, for the Chargers, that they should be better than this. What are your the Bill Belichick approach, where he's just it doesn't matter if they blew somebody out by 30 or if they lost by 30, he is still just as even keel. Do you prefer that, or is it good? How do you feel when a coach starts to let the pressure, the weight of the world show in how he reacts to or interacts with the press?
Well, we're starting to see Bill Belichick got away with it for years because he was winning.
Gotcha.
Now, I won't call it an act, but it's something that the media especially is starting to get tired of, because you need to answer some of these questions. When you're winning, it's all cute and everything, or just moving on to next week or whatever, but they let him slide. Now we want answers. Like, okay, Bill, this looks bad, this stinks. What's going on? What's going on with your quarterback? What's going on with your style of coaching? What's going on with how you draft players? This is a mess up here. You can't get away with, well, we're just on the way to Cincinnati. Well, now Cincinnati's on the, Nah, we want answers now. Same thing goes with Staley. Staley, it was almost like he was quirky because he's going for these fourth downs. He's almost seemingly messing up this young, talented quarterback. But he was skating along. Last year they actually made the playoffs, but then you get beat, you lose a game. The ownership has got to be looking at him and thinking, okay, what are we investing? What are we losing in our investment with one Herbert? And is this guy the guy to lead? And then, he feels the heat. So he's going to start to get a little snippy, as you mentioned, but it's not playing well because the writing is kind of on the wall. You cannot be at this point, 4 wins on it with this type of talent, and then the consistency of how you blow some of these games. And here's the caveat too, Jay. If you're a defensive coach, defense has got to be your specialty. You've got to be, your side of the ball has got to be tight. We're looking at Salah a little differently because he's quarterback. They're just jinxed, but the defense
And he
seems to be
seems
hanging.
flummoxed because he benched what Zach Wilson, and
Yeah,
they lost. But and so when you're just trying to be as positive. I think Solid tries to be as positive as possible, and it's just it's almost in a no-win situation.
yeah, and also his side of the ball is doing, at least in most instances, doing what they're supposed to be doing, holding teams to 14 points, but you can't get 15. Holding teams.
Oh my
I mean,
God. Think about
seriously,
that. Think about that.
on a
Wow.
consistent basis. But then
Wow.
you look at Staley. The week before, they gave up 41 to Detroit. So it's like, okay, you got this young, talented quarterback. He's scoring you points, and your defense and your decisions. That's the other
Mm.
part of it. Your defense and your decisions are killing us. So his seat isn't hot, bro. His seat is like putting tinfoil in the microwave. This thing is crackling and it's burning up, and the microwave, the sparks are coming out of it. This dude is on his way out the door. He kind of sees each week is getting hotter and hotter. Here, let me ask you this, Jay. We've all been in those positions where we knew something was going on in the office, and everybody's whispering, and there's a change that might be a coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every day you walk into the office, you're just hoping you get past the front door, and somebody doesn't ask you to come. That's like me on cut days sometimes. You're just trying to get in the building.
Right.
And at this point, he's just trying to get in the building, bro, because he knows at any given time, every week that goes by, you're blowing up. You're supposed to win this game in Green Bay. You get on the plane, hoping you can get off the plane and just get home. And then you come in on Tuesday or Monday, which is today, bro, you're just trying to get to the office. And all this stuff with the media and stuff, that's just causing you more and more angst, because at any moment, it might be, hey, Coach, the ownership would like to sit down with you along with GM. We got a little meeting in the meeting room, the big one, not the little meeting room. We're going to meet in the big one. So he's on straight, like I said, you can't be comfortable. There's nothing comfortable. Every time your phone rings, bro, whether it's your house phone, cell phone, phone in the office, any noise could be the last noise you hear as the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. So, I mean, he's just getting snippy because he knows it's getting close, bro.
No matter what sport, right? That moving over 6 inches, moving 6 inches over to take on all that comes with being a head coach. The buck stops with you. That I don't think that can be emphasized enough, where people just think that, oh, well, he's a great or I think the word great is thrown out way too much when it comes to players and coaches, but he's a very good defensive or offensive coordinator, special teams guy, whatever that might be. He'll make a great coach when it's more than that. And you've talked about some of the things that make great coaches, their ability to interact with the various position groups, with both sides, with all three phases of the the football team, with the special teams, with the defense, with the offense, and even being able to interact with management to be able to maybe stave off some of the changes that management wants to make because you believe in your guys. It's such a nuanced position, no matter what sport that you're in.
Well, here's the other thing too, Jay. There's only 32 of these jobs at the top. I mean, you got 100 and some odd college coaches. Some guys just aren't college coaches. They're meant to be in the NFL. There's only 32 of these head jobs.
Right.
And when you're on the verge of potentially losing one, and throw in the fact that you've done it so poorly, you might not get another chance. And maybe find out, we always talk about it, some people are just meant to be coordinators.
Right.
So once he loses this position, what are the odds that you get another one? Because people are seeing how bad you've mucked this one up.
Yeah.
And that's a bad feeling, knowing that you might be on your way out the door and not have the potential, at least in the near future, to get another one of these. Yeah. And the reality that you just might be a coordinator, bro. And you'll never be in the big boy office at the end of the row. You're going to always be that dude moving forward in the middle of the row with the small office, not necessarily facing that good scenery out, out the back, So, I mean, it's a lot of things that go into this. Your mortality, your fate lies in your own hands, but it also lies in the hands of those above you making the decisions. And you might not get another one of these. And Staley is probably feeling that every day he's going home. you look at the scoreboard just like us, and you know what you got on your sideline, and you know the results are not matching up. And bro, that's a bad feeling. So he might, yeah.
I would imagine also when you have those, you hired those people that are on your staff as well. So what everybody, they're typically, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but if you got, let's say 20 people on staff, I know there's more than that, but if you got 20 people on staff and they're under contract for another couple of years, and when they get axed, at least they get that money for that time, or are they just done? Because I know with coaches, their contracts are different. You fire me, as long as it's not for some stupid, as long as I haven't done anything egregious, then I'm getting my money. See Cliff Kingsbury if you want to know what that's like. But for the most part, are these staffs, are they getting their money as well, or are they just sorry, man, you done?
Well, you bring up a great point, Jay. Think about this. Kellen Moore is in the building, right? That dude, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing with the offensive side of the ball.
Wait, is that one real quick? I'm gonna let you finish. Is that one of those when they said, "Hey, coach, we thinking about bringing on a different offensive coordinator." Okay, I got some ideas. Yeah. We thinking about Kellen Moore, and then you just know what's coming with that. But I'll let you finish.
Same scenario over in Dallas. Now Kellen Moore obviously left Dallas, but over there, if you're McCarthy. And you got who's the defensive coordinator over there who went to the Super Bowl with Dallas?
Yes.
Who's the Orca? I can't remember his name, but he's basically just sitting there in wait. He didn't.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
He didn't actually take other jobs because he's like, no, I'm comfortable right here. It's almost, hey, bruh, you walk by and he's sizing up your door, the front of your door. For the nameplate thing,
man,
it'll fit right here. And he's already looking in your office, like you bring the staff in. He's in the office looking around because he's thinking where things are gonna be. Yeah, I put that right there. It's got a couple changes right here. Same thing's going over there in Los Angeles. Kellen Moore is just sitting there in wait, and so you not only might be losing your job, but the dude that might be taking it is in the office right next to yours, and you brought him in. So
man,
you talking about just the whole matter just gets so.
It's a cold game,
bruh.
It's a cold game. All right, so Easy Sports Talk Podcast. He is Ed Smith. I am Javon Adams. So, all right, so let's get into I'll let you start if you want to go worst of the football weekend or best of the football weekend. Which do you want to go with?
Oh boy, worst of the football weekend. You Washington Commanders, bruh. Okay. I mean, that staff, they should already be looking for next year where they might be. Like, and I hate to say it, you can't lose to the Giants and Tom DeVito. That's one of those ones. It's like, we're all fighting for our jobs. We're a 9.5-point favorite in this game. And you've seen what other teams have done to the New York Football Giants, and you let them come into your house and take, bruh, there's not much you can say there. I don't like for people to lose their jobs, and I'm sure Ron Rivera's a really nice dude, but new ownership's got to be looking at him like, okay, yeah, we've seen
Magic was on the phone as soon as the game was over.
Oh, bruh. So, yeah, that situation there is bad. I was obviously looking at what the Chargers did as well. But if you're Washington, you can't lose that game, bro. That's just you. The other one, come on, man. Pittsburgh, come on. This is why they always end up at 9-8, or what? Always one game ahead of the 500 mark. But you can't lose to. I don't even remember his name. DP3 something. I don't know what his name is.
DTP, Dorian Thompson Robinson.
10-13. And if you're Pickett, come on. Oh God, it's just ugly.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw one at you. Just if this is college football, but from worst of the football weekend was that injury with Jordan Travis. So Florida State.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the talk after that. And the talk, of course, Sunday before the games kicked off was what is the committee going to, how are they going to penalize Florida State and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's just unfortunate when you're injured when you have such a great team.
You throw one more out there. What's Deion and them doing over there in Colorado, bro? I mean, you talking about the hype train. Now he look like somebody poured water in his Cocoa Puffs. I mean, it just doesn't look right. Don't look right.
Yeah, and here's what I wonder. So this is in. I wonder if I've been kind of rolling this around in my head, and I probably have a more fleshed out thought process on this later. But if they start off 3-0 next year, it's gonna be I didn't told you, I told you
With
that
Hunter.
Dion is what about me makes you think that I that type of thing. It's you have to. I'm not trying to say to become the all shucks coach, but there has to be some type of adjustment with the way in which you carry yourself, the confidence, have all the supreme confidence in the world, but the way in which it's communicated, maybe you tweak that if you're Dion, but he won't.
Did you see where I guess as a former player or somebody talking about how when you play selfishly, this is what you get? This could have been a 10-win undefeated team, but he started pointing fingers at, and I'm gonna see if I can look it up while we're talking here. But it was basically along the lines of if
Yeah, and well, as you look for that, one of the things that he would throw with some of his players under the bus, different position groups. We need new offensive line. We gonna need a new center. And so when you have these kids that are in the program, we know we don't need to know how the sausage is made in that way. You might have these very candid conversations with some of these players or some of these position groups or whomever that might be, but gosh, you don't have to do it in public like that because even with the NIL and how some of these players are starting to get some money in their pockets, it's still in such a way that it's not as if they are coming in making $400,000 a year and you're saying, all right, so yeah, you make all this money, man, you're not putting up, you got to get out. And I think it's so much cutthroat, and he's putting that in the front, so the public facing.
Well, this is a current player who threw this tweet out there, and I think a second-tier running back who hasn't played much. But here's the quote: "Simple fact, bruh. We could have went undefeated this year. Too much selfish ball going on, man. Can't win like that. Got to play and win as a team. But if you go the other route, you get these results like this." And he was pointing it because he hashtagged it at Shadir, at his other son, and at the cornerback guy. I can't remember his name. But if you
Hunter,
look at it,
Hunter,
yeah. If you look at it, the focus at the beginning of the year was all on like Shadir, like, look, we got this and we got Hunter, and they was all like, it was pretty selfish because they were getting all the hype and everything on them, and then as soon as things go bad, now the fingers. Now, one time through all this, have we heard Dion and hey, we need to play better at this position, meaning or a quarterback or that? He's pointing fingers at everybody but his sons. And I think some of the other players are looking at like, wait a minute, we win as a team, we lose as a team, right? But no, it was kind of all focused on, this is Shador for Heisman and, first round pick and this, that, and the other. And, now where's all the hype and the noise? So, it does show it's always been about Dion. And now that it doesn't look so good, I'm wondering just like everybody else, like, why we get so quiet all of a sudden? And it's he continues to point fingers like, yeah, we all know what the problem is. We ain't got no offensive line. Maybe some decisions could have been made in better in other positions as well. So there's a lot going on there that the offseason is going to get really ugly up there because once the season's over, bro, and the portal opens up and a lot of these guys want to get out, that's when they're going to voice what they really thought about this whole situation, and it'll be up to Dion to try to deflect it, but it's going to get nastier before it gets any better up there, in my opinion.
Indeed. Easy Sports Talk Show. He's Ed Smith. I am Javon Adams. Yo, so leave me with this. So it's Thanksgiving week, and we know that this is the holiday season is officially upon us. But I was my wife and I, we were out trying to pick up some chairs because again, we inviting the whole West Valley over to the crib.
You sound so excited.
Good Lord. And so I was passing by some of these different grills that were outside of this particular establishment, and I passed a Traeger. And I said, hey, babe, I want to get a Traeger. She said, well, you got that Traeger money? And I started looking, and I said, Ed really loves cooking. I mean, I just want to know when you make as you have become more entrenched and you become much more knowledgeable. I mean, you're a great cook anyway, but using that Traeger for what to try to get the most out of it, the most potential out of it. Is that a great? And it's not. This is not an advertisement for Traeger, but is when you making a turkey or doing some of those things. I mean, is it? Have you gotten your return on your investment on that Traeger to
Oh,
this point?
absolutely. And you know how I got it set up. I got every pressure cooker and slow cooker you can imagine. I got
Yeah,
the gas grill. The only thing I don't have a charcoal grill. I've kind of graduated from those. I've thought about getting one just for those special occasions.
yeah,
But to that Traeger, bruh, what the Traeger does is it distributes the heat so evenly. With a charcoal grill, old school, you get little pots here, those areas that real hot. You still trying to get these to catch up over here,
yeah,
and some of the coals aren't doing it here, and you got to jostle it a little bit.
yeah,
And even with the gas grill, you get a nice semi-even. But the Traeger, bro, it distributes the heat so evenly
yeah,
and seals everything as well
yeah.
that I mean your driest food that you cook on that thing is still juicy
Mm,
because it's like I said, it really does. I got my return on investment the very first time I used it, but then the very first time I did the turkey in the Traeger, I
yeah,
vowed I would never go back to putting a turkey in the oven again as long as I shall live.
love it.
Because I'm telling you, bro, that Traeger, especially with the tools you have, you
Yeah,
put the little sensors in there all the way to the bone. And I got a button, bro, that you know what temperature you want your turkey at.
yeah.
It tells you we're here. Now, if you stop cooking it now, because the mistake a lot of people make, they cook it till it's done, till it hits that temperature. You
Okay.
forget that turkey or whatever meat you're cooking is going to continue to cook for a little while. So if you wanted that medium steak and you
Yeah.
cook it right to medium, you're going to get a little well in there because it's going to continue to cook. Now with the tools I have, I know the temperature I'm trying to get to so I can get her off of there and let her rest and then get to that temperature that it's supposed to be. So, I mean, Traeger, bro, will take you there.
All
I
right.
love my Traeger. I love my Traeger. Never thought I would say that one grill is better than the other. I mean, there are other pellet grills out there. I'm just
Yeah.
saying I got my Traeger. I love that thing, boy.
All right. All right. So he's Ed Smith. I'm Javon Adams. We do this on Monday, Wednesday, Friday in podcast form. We also have our terrestrial radio show, which is every Saturday from 1 to 3 Eastern. Go ahead.
Just in case we don't get the Wednesday out because you're going to be on the road, I want
Yeah.
to wish you and the family happy Thanksgiving. I love you like no other. And
Yes,
I
sir.
want to wish all of our listeners a happy Thanksgiving and hope they enjoy the holiday. And we talked about it on a earlier show. It's all about family, man. Get together, hang out, enjoy everybody coming to the house. I get it off this year, but enjoy
Yeah.
yourself. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, man.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah. So easysportstalk.com, easysportstalk.com. We also do the Believe in the Arizona Cardinals podcast as well that just dropped today. So that's Monday and Thursday. So we may hit you on Friday with that, but we'll see how that goes. But again, all things you can find at easysportstalk.com or wherever you find this podcast. We do appreciate it. Like, share, tell a friend about it because it matters and we do appreciate it. And as always, we always say around this time, you can, and also happy Thanksgiving.